Welcome everybody, I'm Gold Leader, I'm here with Patronus, and we just got an exciting delivery.
That's right. Thanks to the HeroQuest Facebook group, heard about this super random card game that was being released by Avalon Hill for HeroQuest.
Yeah, and if you don't know, Avalon Hill and Hasbro are the two that are essentially putting out the new HeroQuest product.
Mm-hmm.
There was a Kickstarter that launched this year and closed, so close to 4 million, just shy, so we
Yeah.
won't get all the perks, but we're going to get a lot of them, and it seems like HeroQuest is going to be supported going forward by these two, so pretty exciting. There's literally no information about this product
None.
other than an Amazon link.
Yeah. And it was
So
Amazon UK.
yeah,
It
so
wasn't even Amazon US.
yeah, so I had to order it. Eventually, it came up available through the Amazon US website, but still on behalf of Amazon UK, which is really strange.
Yeah.
So that's how I found it. Thanks to the HeroQuest Facebook groups. I'm part of them all. Like there's HeroQuest Fanatic and then Yay Olden and all that stuff. So
Yeah. So this is the box, as we saw on the digital rendering there, that we received in the mail today. So we were super excited and wanted to open it up, of course. And anytime we're opening a box, we always want to record it.
yeah,
We think everybody else is just as excited about opening new product.
yeah. So we wanted to open it up and like just go through the rules and try playing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I will say the box is beautiful. The art is beautiful. It's the same art from the new box that's going to be coming out for the new board game. This is might confuse some people. This is a card game.
Yes,
This is
it
not.
is the card
It's
game.
not.
Yes.
And it's not like a collectible game. This is more in the realm of. This is like a small little card game. I don't think there's going to be really expansions to this. I think this is just.
I think it just is.
I think it's just like a small little standalone product. Think of it as like a small little mini card game that you just buy. I wouldn't put this in like the living card game category where I would
There's
expect
gonna
a
be
bunch of expansions.
Yeah.
Maybe there is.
Who knows?
We'll see. So when we open this bad boy up, first thing we see is the rule sheet, and my first impression is that it's not a very complicated game. The rules.
Yeah, it's
This
pretty
is
short
it.
rules.
It's 2 pages front and back.
Yep.
So, and
Technically one page front and back because it's folded in half.
yeah. So yeah, it's a pretty small rule book. It looks like it's a pretty simple game. It does seem to stick with the HeroQuest theme. The whole purpose of the game is to escape the dungeon. So, and you have to fight your way out. You get items and do things along the way, fight monsters, that whole thing. This was the most disappointing part of the game when I saw these.
For sure.
So the biggest reason I bought this game when I first saw it on the Amazon site said it came with 9 HeroQuest dice.
Right.
And if you're a fan of HeroQuest, you will know
Dice are like crack.
that you don't have enough HeroQuest dice ever,
Yeah.
and you have to own multiple things. Sadly,
So that's really sad.
we went back in time, and we got 9 giant dice, which are much bigger than the original HeroQuest wooden dice. These are plastic dice that are blank, and they come with stickers. Pretty rough.
That's really disappointing.
So we're going to have to put these stickers on. For this demo video, we're not going to spend the time and go through putting all these stickers.
Yeah,
we're just going to use our actual HeroQuest
Yeah.
dice. So, and they might be a little faded and
hard to read
hard to
on
read,
camera,
but,
yeah, we don't need to have you watch us.
we're not going to
put
have you
stickers on here.
sit here while we put stickers on dice.
Yeah.
So
That's so disheartening.
this is the worst thing so far about this product.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, I got this. This made sense back in 1990 or even 1980
yeah.
when they were doing things. Like, it was kind of an acceptable thing.
Uh huh.
But I feel like game production has
Nowadays?
come a long way.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
know-
nowadays I could go and produce game dice for a board. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's so many.
There's tons of people on Etsy that are just doing it from their homes. The idea that Hasbro and Avalon Hill couldn't just put 9 actual dice in here is kind of just. This is a disappointing part of the product.
Yeah.
I will say.
I kind of wonder if they did that specifically so you wouldn't get actual dice for the game.
It makes me wonder if they. Yeah, it kind of makes.
Like, just be this size, but actually be
They
the
could have been
dice.
any size. I could care less about
Yeah.
the size. I just thought it was really odd. It does feel like in a way they maybe made this decision to keep the MSRP down, but I mean, really, how expensive are
I
dice? But it
mean,
almost feels like what you're saying. It's more of they want you to buy their new game that comes out that has
right,
the actual dice in it. The
right.
ones that they gave away as part of, that was one of the stretch goals in the
Uh
Kickstarter
huh.
was 6 additional dice,
Yeah.
um, which no one really got mad about because they wanted more dice. But everyone's always like, man, you knew you were getting kind of a raw deal when 6 dice is a Kickstarter goal, but
Yeah, it's a
whatever.
stretch goal. Yeah, for
So
sure.
that is what that is. We're gonna put these off to the side for now.
Yeah. So other than that, so we have the obviously these are the cardboard punch outs
Yeah.
with the characters. So actually, it
So,
looks like
so
these
what's
characters are two-sided, which is nice.
yeah,
So
they
you have the
are.
male and female version of all the
Yeah, when I
characters.
first opened this, I was confused. I didn't realize because I pulled
It
it out like this. I
unfolded.
didn't realize it unfolded. I was like, interesting. Only female versions of the characters. I'm like, that can't be right. And then I opened it up, and I was like, oh wait,
Yeah, there's the guys.
there's
So they're just
they're
two-sided.
just double sided. Which these are. I'll punch these out. These are actually they are kind of they're pretty sturdy. These
Yeah,
are
they do look
these
nice.
are hard,
Hard
thick
cardboard.
cardboard. So, um, even though, and I don't know if there's a sleeve for these that would fit,
Doubt
but
it.
you're not shuffling them. They're
Yeah.
probably these are comparable to the hard cardboard you'd find in the original HeroQuest game. So for the starting hero, so
Mm-hmm.
we'll punch these out and we'll play with these.
Then there's a set of cards here. Now I don't know what size card this is.
I don't know either.
I don't recognize it. Now, because we got this in the UK, maybe this is some kind of standardized Euro size
Yeah.
card.
So I've got some.
Yeah, that definitely won't.
These are mini European board game size. These definitely will not fit. So I'm not sure, and it's really close.
It's very close,
but
actually.
you can see it's short.
Yeah.
It's short. So there might be another size up that these fit. We'll have to do some research and figure that out.
That's if there aren't sleeves for this
That would
size
be
card.
that would be another
That is the
disappointment.
biggest fail.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be really, really upset if they make these cards that aren't standard sleeve size.
Or they don't have to be standard. They just have to be a size of a readily available sleeve. Now
That
again,
to me is a standard sleeve size.
now
But
again,
yes,
again,
like they create sleeves for this size card and they're not
Yeah.
hard to find.
and again, Patronus and I are not from the UK. We're not really familiar with all the. We don't buy a ton of European games. I mean, we have games that are Euro style, but we don't have a ton of European games. So, we're not really sure exactly what card sizes those are. But I don't have. I can tell you, I don't own a game that has a card that size.
So there are turn order cheat sheets. There's 4 of them. We'll kind of just drop these on the Zoom cam here. So they're two-sided to provide, obviously, the turn order sequence, which is quite simple, and then as well as just kind of a reference to what the different symbols mean in the game. So that's kind of nice to have that handy. Put one of each for us here.
So punch out's done. So basically, it looks like we just got a bunch of skull tokens, and then
Monsters.
I think these are monster tokens.
Yeah, so these are some of the cards. So these red ones having, I think.
The red ones are wound cards.
Yeah.
And then I think wound cards are different than getting a wound token. So we're gonna try to figure this out. I will say I do love that a lot of the art is, if you notice, like it's a lot of the classic art here from HeroQuest. I do like the black and white. I was kind of wondering if with HeroQuest if they were gonna modernize a lot of the art and make it full color and different things, but it looks like they're sticking with black and white sketches.
Which I actually like.
I'm a big fan.
I actually like.
I kind of like the classic art.
Yeah. So I guess we'll sort through how to deal with these things.
So on the rule book it says object, play together, reveal the dungeon exit, defeat all evil threats to complete the dungeon cards, including those in your hand. You have escaped the dungeon, but if any player is hit with 4 wounds, all players lose and Zargon wins. So this is a cooperative card game. You can play with up to 4 players.
Oh, that's gonna be camera. Yeah.
And yeah, let's get started. So we have to choose heroes.
Mhm.
I know which one you want.
I'm always the wizard when we play.
And I'm gonna play the dwarf. So I'm a big fan of the dwarf.
I'll do the female skin. Why not?
Okay.
So what's interesting is these boards actually have different instructions, what looks like different monsters here, and different types of like trap, magic, melee. So there's different things here that seem to pertain to that particular hero. So that must come into play in somewhere.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'm wondering if this board is looking too busy to
Yeah,
play
I
this.
think it is.
I think we should just replace
Have
this.
It was a nice idea, but probably just play on the table.
We're just gonna play on the black, so it's easier for you guys just to see everything. It was a nice concept, but I think it's just easier to see. Alright, so we'll put these tokens and everything off to the side. I'm not sure what we need. Okay, so get ready.
Where's the big door? Ah, there it is.
The door token. So each player chooses a hero. Place the wound markers and treasure chest tokens in reach of all players. So assuming these are the treasure chest tokens.
Probably.
Okay. Those are the only other tokens that came in the game. Place the dungeon exit token down on the table. So that would be the door here. The area around the exit is the dungeon floor, where the action will take place. Shuffle the dungeon cards, count the appropriate number of cards for the number of players, and stack them face down on top of the dungeon exit. So shuffle the cards, and we need 25 cards.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna pile because sleeves.
And if someone does know, once we post this video on YouTube, what size sleeves this game would go, please post it in the comments on YouTube. Homebasegames.com or youtube.com/homebasegames. That's where this video will be uploaded. And while she's doing that, we'll get started.
Yeah, so I guess you can just kind of read through the rest of the rules.
Yeah, pretty simple. So, if I can't really show this, I don't think on here. No. So, basically, the number of cards in the HeroQuest deck that she's shuffling is based on the number of players. So 2 players is 25 cards, 3 players is 35 cards, and 4 players is 45 cards. After you shuffle, you just place, you shuffle the dungeon cards, you count the number of cards, so 25, and you stack them face down on top of the dungeon exit. So you're basically putting that deck of cards on top of this token. Each player draws 2 dungeon cards and takes 2 combat dice. Hold the cards in your hand so you can see them. Okay? And then each player takes a turn order card to refer to the during the game, so that's this. Okay? And turn order is play a card from your hand, take an action, draw a card from the dungeon deck. So turn order in this game is pretty simple. Like original HeroQuest, you could basically only do 3 things.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so here's our 25 shuffled cards.
Okay, and that just goes on top of there. Sure. And then it says now you're ready to play. Decide which hero goes first, and play moves clockwise. So, you want the dwarf to go first or the wizard?
Sure,
You
that's
can go
fine.
first. I'm gonna go grab some HeroQuest dice.
I'm gonna draw 2 cards, so you guys kind of get a chance to see a little bit. So these seem to be just threat cards, so to speak, and they have different icons on them to represent what the threat actually is. And it would appear, obviously, that they're unique to the type of threat. These are my cards. You have to take 2 cards as well.
Okay. 2 for the dwarf. And I'll just put them face up. So it looks like I've got... These are my 2 cards. And sorry if they look a little funny, but our color filter is basically like magenta.
Yeah, it filters out red.
So it filters out a lot of red.
Which those cards that are pure red are going to look really horrible.
Yep. HeroQuest was not considerate of our stream setup.
Yep. Okay, so I'm just trying to get an idea of... So I suppose you play these cards in front of players.
Some old school HeroQuest dice here. Faded, loved, well loved. And some random, I think this is a World of Warcraft dice bag.
Yeah, maybe.
But it looks so cool. I was like, perfect for this.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to use the dice camera?
Yeah.
All right. So it seems like you can play one of these cards from your hand, and they represent different types of threats. And then once you, if at any time you play, and there are 3 of the same symbol in front of you, that resets the round.
Okay.
And we have to take a permanent.
Oh, gotcha. So you put them into play.
Yeah.
And then you roll. Okay, I get it. I think I get it now. So why don't you take your turn?
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm trying to figure out how to actually.
Or I'll take it.
Do it. So I think I just play a card.
So your options are turn order. You can play a card, take your action, draw a card from the dungeon deck. So the first thing you do is play a card.
Right. Exactly.
So you pick a card from your hand.
So I'm just gonna play this, I guess.
Yep. And now you take your action. Your actions are attack a threat that is on the dungeon floor. So you just played it. So I think when you play a card, you play it here to the dungeon floor.
Okay.
I think that's what they were saying. All cards, it said. So it'd be cool to get a little playmat for this now. Each player draws 2 dungeon cards and takes 2 combat die. Okay. Oh, it says on your turn, play a card.
Right.
Select a card from your hand, place it on the dungeon floor. Cards represent threats, wound, or beneficial actions. So I think what you're supposed to do, maybe like this is supposed to, like, I'm not really
No,
sure.
because you have to go through this whole deck to reveal.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
that's the
Okay.
point,
That is the point.
That exists on top of the dungeon. Go through all of the cards, all 25. We have to go through and defeat all 25 cards essentially to be able to exit.
Okay. Well, it says select a card from your hand, place it on the dungeon floor. I assume that just means place it on the table.
Yeah, I just don't know if it needs to be engaged with a particular player.
Yeah, it says cards represent threats, wounds, or beneficial actions. After you place your card, you will decide what action to take. You may accumulate several cards on the dungeon floor, so it's important to consider your options that will benefit yourself or your fellow heroes.
So actually, it looks like I need the wizard, which makes sense for me to defeat magic, which is that symbol. But I only need to roll 1 skull out of my 2 dice. So I'm better suited to try and defeat magic.
So you want to play it.
Sense.
Yeah.
So I think I probably try to play this card with the magic symbol.
Yeah, it says that these cards have 6 types of threats. So, let's put that on the screen. So you can see the orc symbol is the orc. The Dread Warrior is also like the Chaos Warrior. They just changed it all to Dread. Undead is that zombie-looking symbol. The Fireball's magic. The swords are melee. And the last one is traps. So those are the different threats. So these gray cards are threat cards. So she's playing one of these onto the table, which is now going to put a fireball threat, and a melee threat on the table.
Right.
Um, when you place your card in the dungeon, there are 2 conditions that require immediate action. If at any time there are 3 identical threats active on the dungeon floor or in active play, such as wound cards, the round is lost. So what she was saying is, if there are 3 of these cards in play, where's your other card? And right now there's only 2 melee symbols, 2 orc symbols, and 2 fireball symbols, so it would be okay.
Yeah.
But if we got another card that was any one of those 3 symbols, we would lose the round and we would get dealt one of these red wound cards.
No, tokens.
Oh, wound tokens.
Yeah, that can't be.
Oh. So at any time if there are 3 identical active... If at any time there are 3 identical threats active on the dungeon floor or in active play, such as on wound cards. Oh, so wound cards would count.
Correct.
If you had a wound card, they also have symbols.
Yeah, some of them have.
Gotcha. Shuffle all active cards into the deck. Each player takes a permanent wound marker and places it next to their hero tile. Keep in mind that it is the threats that must be identical, not the cards. So just saying the symbols. Okay. If the threat card you play includes a door symbol, your hero has triggered a random encounter. Take the top card from the dungeon deck and immediately put it into play. If this causes you to lose the round, shuffle all active cards back into the dungeon deck and each player takes a permanent wound marker. Okay. And then it just tells us what wound cards are. Wound cards are these red ones. I've got one in front of me. So here, that's a red one. Wound cards show. It says wound cards show a skull. So here's the bottom of the skull. It's how you identify a wound card. And may include an active ability or a threat. Play a wound card on yourself or another hero by placing the card near the hero tile. Remember, this is a cooperative game, so be sure you plan your wounds wisely. Okay. As noted above, when there are 3 identical threats on the dungeon floor together, each player takes a permanent wound marker and the round is lost and all active cards shuffle back into the dungeon deck. Permanent wounds cannot be healed by the heal action on your turn, but may be affected by other cards. Alright, so that's just explaining everything that could happen in the first phase.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm wondering if these cards actually get put in front of a particular.
No,
like wound cards need to get put in front of
wound cards
right?
It does, but this says you just put those on the dungeon floor. It says play a card. It says select a card from your hand and place it on the dungeon floor. So I think the dungeon floor would just be placed on the table. But wound cards, it specifically says that you put them in front of next to a hero's card. So we'll play it like that.
All right. So then, how do you do an attack?
Oh, so action phase. After you play a card, your action phase begins. Your hero chooses one of 3 possible actions. Attack the threat that is on the dungeon floor. So I think, it's here in the middle of the table. Either one of us could attack. Choose one. Attempt to heal a wound.
Which I have none.
Right? Or search for treasure.
Okay.
Those are your 3 actions. It says it then just talks about the combat dice. Attacking. To attack, call out the threat you are attacking and then roll your dice. You need to roll the number of skulls called for in the attack stats for the threat on your hero tile. So on your hero tile, like she was showing, you'll see all the same symbols for the different threats, the orc, whatever, and then the number of skulls. That's the number of skulls you have to roll on the dice to defeat that threat.
And how many dice are you rolling?
I think you only get 2. Good question, but I think you only get 2. Let's keep reading. You need to roll the number of skulls called for in the attack stats. Roll both of your dice unless you have a modifier that calls for more or fewer dice. So unless otherwise, you're just rolling 2 dice.
Okay.
It's not like HeroQuest where like the barbarian has 3 and
it depends on what equipment.
Yeah, it doesn't
look 2 dice, but unlike the regular HeroQuest, they had a sort of like health threshold players.
Yeah.
In this game, the threshold to defeat it is different.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Um,
So how do you, if I, so I'm going to roll 2 dice of magic. I only need skull as the wizard
yep.
in order to defeat that threat.
Yep.
So roll 2 dice for me.
Okay. So you got
All
one
right.
skull.
Yeah, so one skull in there. So, and that's all I needed. So I guess the question is, how do we mark that I did that threat?
Well, I think the card's just discarded, but I
Well,
haven't.
there's 2 threats on one card though.
But I don't know. Hold on. Let me finish reading. Roll both of your attack unless you have a modifier that calls for one or fewer dice. If your attack is successful, that is, you roll at least the specified number of skulls, remove the threat from the dungeon floor by placing the card in the discard pile.
Oh, okay. So
If
you only
you're
have to defeat one of them.
Yeah, you just choose which one you're defeating.
All right. So
So we're gonna make a discard pile. And
okay.
healing a wound. If you decide to heal a wound, roll the number of white shields specified in your hero tile. You can only heal your own hero, and a
Okay.
permanent wound cannot be healed by this action. So, heal a wound for me requires 2 shields.
Yeah, I only need.
Okay. Searching for treasure. When you roll a skull or a shield, take a treasure chest token from the treasure chest token pile. So that's.
Gotta be the. So I think that just represents an automatic success for
Oh,
that type
look.
of result.
They're all right. So
Oh, they're random.
they're random.
Oh.
That makes a whole lot more sense.
Yeah, that makes way more sense. So on the other side of that token.
Yeah. So
is
So
a
I'll show
treasure
you. There's a
chest.
treasure chest on one side,
Yeah.
and then the loot on the other.
That makes a lot more
That
sense.
makes
So
sense.
that just has to be shuffled up.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that just means an automatic success on whatever result is on the other side of that card, or on the other side of that token.
So no, on your hero sheet, it says search for treasure, and it says.
That's how you can successfully get a treasure.
Yep. And then what you actually get is on the other side of this token.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I think that token represents an automatic success for one of these threats. Those symbols matched up to the 6 different threats.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
So flip them over really quick. Yeah, it's the 6 different threat symbols. So I think it represents an automatic success.
I don't know. Let me just finish reading. When you roll a skull, take a treasure token from the treasure chest token pile. Note the threat shown on the card and destroy all the matching threats in play. All the matching threats in play.
Right away. Okay.
So if there was like 2 swords in there and you got the
Yeah.
sword, you would discard 2 cards.
Oh, okay.
So that's interesting. That's not how I thought treasure would work in this game, but
Oh,
okay.
Okay, that's fine. So,
Alright, so
that's our random treasure pile.
Yep.
I'm
All
assuming you
shuffled
only
up.
get each token once.
Yep.
All right, and then so I played a card, did an action, and then draw a card from the dungeon deck.
Yep, after your
Turns
action
over.
phase is completed, draw 1 or more cards from the dungeon deck, so you have exactly 2 cards in your hand. Your turn is over. Play continues with the next hero. This is a very simple game.
Yes.
Alright, so it's my turn. So I have the option of playing a... So here are my 2 options now. Now, I don't know why you would ever want to play the wound card.
You don't have a choice. At some point, you have to play. It says the objective of the game, you have to deplete the entire dungeon.
Gotcha.
So we have to actually play
all
of
25
the
cards.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, that would make sense. So yeah, so playing this now for me makes a lot of sense. Your hero may not heal during your next action phase. So
Okay.
neither of us are hurt.
Right, so that makes
So-
sense to play that now.
Yeah, this makes sense to play it now.
Get it out
And
of
the
the way.
question is, do I want to play it on you or me?
Probably me.
Probably you, so your turn is just...
I heal easier
Yeah.
because I only need 1 success to heal.
Yeah, it says wound cards are shown as skull and include an active ability or threat. Play a wound card on yourself or another hero by placing the card near the hero tile.
Okay.
So I'll play this on the wizard.
Yep. So yeah, you may not heal during your action phase. So then how do you get rid of these? That just says you can't heal, period. So I think you just have to hold on to that card until the
Yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting thing. Your hero may not heal during your action phase.
right, but that's the only time you can heal.
Yeah. Hmm. Wound card show a skull main.
It doesn't say you can't heal during your next one and clear her off. Like, you literally can't heal.
I don't know. So I'm gonna hold on to this card for now. I'm just gonna play a threat.
Yep.
And it's an orc. So I'm playing a card. I'm gonna play a threat. It's an orc. I'll take my action. I'll fight it, and I have to roll 2 dice, and I need a skull because
you only need one.
I need one. Yep, which I got one. So I'm gonna defeat this card, and it's gonna go in the discard pile, and then I'm gonna draw a new card, and that's it. Oh, here we go. Water of Healing. Your hero may remove 1 wound from any hero, including yourself. So I could play this on you, and then on the subsequent turn, I could play this and remove it.
Okay, got it.
Alright.
So that's fine.
Yep.
So now we get how that works. All right. So my turn. I am going to. So I have Dread, Melee, and Orcs, which all of those require me to hit 2 skulls. So odds are it's going to be hard for me to actually defeat any one of these, but we can try. You don't have any of these symbols at the moment, so.
Well, the orc is easy for me to defeat.
Okay, so that's fine. We'll do that. We'll play that. We'll attempt to attack it.
Okay.
Which I need 2 skulls.
What you got?
Oh my gosh! Nice.
And goodbye.
Goodbye. And draw a card.
Yep.
So this has the door icon on it. So when I play this, we have to draw a random card from the top of this deck and put it into.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. So my turn?
Yep.
So yeah, I guess I'm going to play my infected bite here.
Yeah. And that on.
So I play a card. And then I have an action that I can't really do anything with, right?
Correct.
Because my options for action are search.
Well, you can search for treasure.
Okay. But
you have to be successful. You have to roll dice.
Yeah, but the question is, if I search for treasure.
Oh, I guess yeah. Whatever you reveal is destroyed immediately.
And there's nothing in play.
So you basically skip it.
Yeah, I think that's right.
That sounds right.
Mm-hmm.
Just so happens.
Yeah.
Defeated everything in one swing.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So
my last
you
action
draw
is draw a card. Broadsword.
Oh, cool.
I can't say it like the people on the. Yeah, your hero may use 1 extra die when attacking with a threat. There you go.
Oh.
All right, cool.
So is this on you or me?
I was playing it on you, so sorry. Or I can play it on myself. I can use the water potion to heal it.
All right. So this seems like a good time to actually play the door one and get a random because we still only got the 1.
Right.
Plus it has magic, which I'm better at defeating.
All right. Yeah, it says if a threat card you play includes a door symbol, your hero has triggered a random encounter. Take the top card from the dungeon deck and immediately put it into play. If this causes you to lose the round, which it doesn't.
We don't have 3.
Yep. Okay.
All right. So there's that, and then I will choose to attack this. I only need 1 skull to deal with magic.
What you got?
Okay.
2 again. Wizard cleaning house. Okay.
The wizard's never this good.
All right. So it's my turn.
Yeah. Oh, I draw a card.
Now, assuming all these things, are these 1 use?
I think so.
Didn't say, discard this card or anything.
Well, I think it's an attack modifier for 1 attack, and then it's done.
It just says it accumulates on the dungeon floor. It doesn't say to discard the card, so I'm curious. So what its exact wording on playing a card is: select a card from your hand and place it on the dungeon floor. Cards represent threats, wounds, or beneficial actions. After you place your card, you will decide what action to take. You may accumulate several cards on the dungeon floor, so it's important to consider options that will benefit yourself or your fellow heroes.
Okay.
That's all it
So I guess
says.
you get to have those in play and you can use them every turn.
It's a good question. I really don't know.
Is the only time you ever. So if you ever hit the trigger of having 3 of the same symbol in play, it specifically says you have to shuffle all active cards
Oh,
back into the
yeah, so
deck.
they would stay in play
I
until it
think they
probably
stay in
gets
play
wiped. Yeah, I think
until
so
the
too.
board gets wiped.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So it's my turn.
Yes.
So I have to play a card. I'm going to play this Water of Healing card.
Yep.
And I will now to my action, and I'm going to use this card.
Yeah.
Your hero may remove 1 wound from yourself, including your hero. So I'm going to get rid of this. Just get rid of this card.
Okay. Yeah, and I think that would be.
And then my last action is to draw a card.
Yeah, so
I think that's your action.
that's what I'm thinking. Like that, I think it's probably an action to use this card.
I would think so. Because it's a healing action. This is when your hero uses 1 extra die when making an attack. I'm assuming this would be me taking a healing action.
I don't know.
I think that's right. I think what this card does, it just allows you to remove a wound from another person, which then allows you to get rid of this card. So I think actually, since this wound was on me, you would have to actually use that.
No, it says you can also do it on yourself.
Yeah, but this card actually prevents me from healing. You said you may not heal during your action phase. So I think since this is on me, I can play this card.
Okay.
Then you could use it on your turn to heal me.
Okay, so then you should use an action to kill this.
Right, which I will. I'll just roll 2 dice. At
Yeah, because you need 2 for either one.
and 2 for either one, so it doesn't matter. But I got 2 again.
Wow.
All right.
Hot dice.
Smoked.
Okay. So then on my turn.
And then I drew a card to replace.
Yep.
So
on my turn, I'm just gonna play another wound.
okay.
I'll play it on myself. Fine.
Mhm.
And then I will remove.
Yep.
We'll play it that way.
I think that makes sense. And then draw a card. Okay. And then it's my turn. So my turn, I'm going to play a threat.
So I think these wounds cards, because they have like a particular threat symbol on them, I wonder if you can defeat by threat.
Maybe.
Like this one was different because it just had a persistent effect. But I'm wondering if these.
I don't think so. I think those are just. I think the symbol's only on there so that it would trigger the.
Trigger the round situation.
I think that's all that they're there for.
Okay.
So I played this zombie card.
Yep.
I'll take a. There's only 1 threat in play, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the healing action.
Yeah, and heal this.
And heal that off of you.
Yep. I agree.
And then I'm gonna draw a card.
Yep.
Okay.
All
It's
right.
your turn.
So I will just drop this in here, and then I will attempt to defeat Fireball with the magic. So 1 skull is all that's needed.
None.
0. Okay.
First failure.
Yep.
Okay. So it's my turn?
Yep. No.
Oh, yeah. Draw a card. Alright, so my turn. I have to play a card, so I'm going to play the broadsword.
Okay.
So I don't put another threat in play. And then for my action, I am going to heal your wound.
Okay.
I have to roll, though, for it. It's not automatic, right?
No, this just says you may remove a wound.
Wow, that seems really good. Okay.
I guess if you're playing it as I don't
This
know.
says your hero may remove one friendly wound from any hero, including yourself. So I
Yeah, I
think,
don't
yeah.
think you have to make a successful heal.
No, it doesn't seem like it. Just seems like you just use this card.
Although I also wonder, I think you can take a heal action to try to heal a wound off as well. You don't have to just use this. This is just obviously. I think this is a guarantee,
Yeah.
as opposed to if you take a heal action, you have to try and be
Yeah.
successful.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna draw a card. And I'm done.
All right. So
We're learning.
yeah,
You guys are learning with us.
yeah. Oddly enough, the rules aren't super explicit.
No.
This rule book probably could have been a little bit longer. All right. So then I'm gonna play this card here,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to attempt to take
Fireball?
down the fireball.
Yep, that makes sense.
Although, do I get to use broadsword?
No.
Or am I use an extra die when attacking a threat?
Oh. I would not think not for magic, I don't think.
I mean, they're all threats.
Yeah, but I don't think magic.
That's
You're
fine.
gonna get an extra one. Anyways, looks
I
like we
miss.
got 2 black skulls. So miss.
2 dice that actually have a lot of better symbols on them.
That's fair. Actually, that one's really
Just
good.
grab 3 that have
That
better
one's
symbols.
bad. This one has all the symbols. They're not great. Yeah, our dice are pretty. These
Oh,
are
well loved.
these are old school. I think this one looks okay. So yeah, we'll just use these 3. Okay, so it's my turn. So
I got to draw.
yep. So I have to play a card. So I really don't. So I. Interesting. So here's where it gets tricky. Here's where we could lose these cards. So I have to play a card.
I mean, we're not drawing any new ones, so I would just play.
So zombie requires 2. I think I would play the wound on myself. And then I'm going to go, and I am. Maybe I just heal the wound off and guarantee get rid of a card, or do I get rid of? I think I get rid of one of
I think you
these.
gotta get rid of
Yeah, I'm gonna roll 3 dice with the broadsword.
Okay.
1 skull, not enough.
Nope.
Okay, done.
All right.
Oh, draw.
Yeah. So my turn. I'm going to.
So here's an important thing to know. No, we're good.
I'm gonna play a hazard card on myself. Simple. Start to rack this up a bit. And I'm gonna attempt to take down this magic.
All right. So there's interesting thing is, you could try to take down this magic, or you could guarantee get rid of this magic, or this. I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. 6 and 1 half dozen the other.
1, you got it. Okay. My turn.
Oh.
So I have to play a card. So I'm gonna play. I guess It really does not seem to matter a whole lot. So I'll play one of these.
It's 2 symbols.
Yep. And then my action is I'm gonna go at. Guess we'll go at this one.
I got that one.
So 3 dice because of the broadsword. Still 1. Okay. Accumulation is happening.
All right, my turn. I will play this one. If I play the other one, so I'll play this one.
And you're gonna have to get rid of a sword because or I would have to play another wound.
Yes,
So,
or that. I could just heal the wound off of
Oh, so
one of
Lightning Bolt
us.
also remove one card from the dungeon that is active in play when this card is played.
Oh, okay. Positive. Essentially.
Interesting.
I could just see because our problem is swords at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I could guarantee room. Because it's hard for any one of these needs me to.
Yeah, maybe moving a guaranteed wound might not be bad while we have this, because we might lose this soon.
Right, exactly. So I think I'm just gonna remove this.
Okay.
It's a simple board.
That makes sense. And then draw a card. Okay. So it's my turn.
Yep.
So this is interesting because this lightning bolt says remove one card from the dungeon that is active in play when this card is played, which is helpful to you.
Yeah, I mean it's still a wound.
All right, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna play that on you, and we'll remove
Swords,
one of the swords one. So I guess remove the one I already have in my hand.
Yep.
And then I've played a card,
Yep.
so now I can take an action, and I'm gonna try to attack one of these things. So let's go with the
mummy is
let's go with the sword. Yeah. And I got the broadsword. Still failed.
hot dice are gone.
It's hard to get two.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I have to draw a card. Okay.
All right, my turn. I will play this one.
Yep.
And
Probably wouldn't worry about a wound.
no, I'm not. I will try and attack this.
Okay. And what do you need? 2?
2 for anything.
You got it.
Oh, there we go.
Clutch. Okay. My turn. So play a card.
Oh, I gotta draw.
Yep. I don't want to play this one, so we're gonna play this one. Yeah. And I'm going to attack one of these swords. Oh no, no.
Attack the orc. That's easier for you to hit.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna attack the orc.
Because I can always play this.
Got the orc. And then I draw a card.
Okay. So yeah, I will play this one. And attempt to attack the fireball.
Got it. Draw. Okay. Then it's my turn.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to play an orc. I will attack the orc. Got 3 skulls.
Oh.
And then draw a card. And so that's the last card, so we just win?
No, we have to actually play through all of the cards.
We have to play them all.
Yes,
Okay.
but we revealed the exit.
Okay.
So we have to actually like get through every single card.
Okay.
And have no cards in our hand.
Gotcha. Alright, so I'm done.
Alright, so I don't have a choice but to play a wound, because otherwise I'm going to trigger it.
Okay.
So I'll play another wound card. This one, Sleep. You may not play a card from your hand. You must instead play a card from the top of the dungeon.
Oh, perfect. There's no
Well,
cards.
It means I won't be able to play the card, but
yeah, and there's no cards in the dungeon deck.
Right, and then I will just split off.
Don't heal that one off. It doesn't do anything.
It means I can't play cards.
Yeah, so it gives us time to catch up on the cards that we already have in play.
All right.
Heal off my wound or your wound.
Okay.
Okay. And then it's my turn?
Yes.
So this card's nasty. It's got triple.
Yeah.
I don't think we have 3 of any symbol yet, though, so
No.
we're good. I'm going to go with that orc.
Yep.
2 skulls. Goodbye.
Yep.
Nothing for me to draw.
Yep.
So I'm done.
So, yeah, I can't play a card because it says you may not play a card from
Yeah.
your hand.
So one thing you could do is search for treasure. If you get the skull, it'll remove all the skulls.
The swords.
Swords, yeah.
Yes, that's true. I could try that.
Go
So
for it.
I roll. I'm assuming I still just roll 2 dice.
Yep, and
And I need anything but the black skulls.
Yep. You got it.
All right.
So pick a token.
Nope.
Alright, so it does nothing. Alright, my
Done.
turn. So I have to play a card, which is going to be this card. There's nothing to reveal.
Yep.
I'm going to go at one of these.
Or I guess you could search for treasures.
That's her. Yeah, let's search for treasures. Well, I get 3 dice, attack dice, so I'm going to go at one of these.
Okay.
2. So,
Alright.
got rid of it. You're up.
Okay. So can't play a card.
Correct.
So I will just search for treasure.
Okay.
Gotta roll for me.
Oh, that's right. I got to roll first. You got it. Pick
Okay.
one. Fireball. That gets rid of this card.
Mm-hmm.
And this card, I think.
I don't know if it gets rid of wounds.
Let's see. No, I think it only does threats.
Mm-hmm.
So, nope, that does not work. Okay. And then,
Well,
yeah, my turn. Can't play a card. So I guess we're just attacking. Got 2. Gets rid of that. And then, can't draw a card, so I'm done.
yep. So my turn. I can't play this card yet. So I'm just going to roll myself
Yep.
as the action.
Okay. Yeah, and my turn's pretty simple. I can't play a card. I'm just healing as well as an action. Getting rid of this card.
Yep.
Oh, wait, I have to... Oh, no, because I have a Water of Healing.
Yep.
Yeah, this card seemed really good.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, and then obviously my last action or my last turn here is to play this, and I'll try to roll at it. I need 2.
Okay. Didn't get it.
Nope. All right.
I'm going to roll at it. 2.
All right.
So I guess we win.
won?
If we did everything right.
I think so.
I don't know.
All right.
All right, so that was it. So demo and unboxing. Thoughts?
Very mediocre.
Yeah.
I guess you could make it harder on yourself by having more cards in the deck that you have to go through. Make
Yeah.
it take a little bit longer.
I mean, it doesn't seem like a bad game, but it doesn't.
It is not for gamers. Put it that way.
There's not a lot of depth of strategy.
Yeah.
This is more of a game for casual, very casual gamers. It seems like. I like what they're trying to do. I feel like the thought is there, the execution is a little
Not.
right. I mean, we have questions like when we were playing, like
Yeah, and maybe it's just because we're gamers, so we think about rules differently.
yeah, I'm like, do these cards really just sit and play the entire game and you just use them like we were using them as an
Yeah.
action, or are we doing that wrong? Is it you play the card, you get it one time?
I don't know.
You know, it doesn't say on
The
these
way
cards.
that we were reading the rules, it sounded like they stay in play, and the
Yeah.
only time that all of those cards reset is if you ever get 3 of the same symbol and play it once.
That's what it seemed like. So yeah, it's a great question. I don't know what the answer to that is. So I think maybe we just got lucky because we got these 2 cards insanely early. These are the only 2 positive cards in the deck.
Right.
Everything else is a threat
Yeah.
or a wound.
Yeah.
So it could be we just got very lucky.
Possible.
You know.
Yeah, and I don't know with the Water of Healing, like, do you still have to make your healing roll to be able to activate the Water of Healing? I don't know the answer to that. It
Yeah.
didn't seem like you did.
It just says your hero may remove 1 wound from any hero, including yourself. It doesn't say make a healing action or anything, and it
And
doesn't.
the only time these come into play is if you ever get 3 of the same symbol, you have to reset the active cards, shuffle them back into the dungeon deck, and then each player has to take one of these tokens, and it represents a wound that cannot be.
Right.
And if at any time any hero has 4 wounds, either in a combination of tokens or cards, you've lost.
Yeah.
That's the way I was interpreting
Yeah, it says
it.
the goal is to defeat Zargon, depleting the dungeon deck to expose the exit. Before any one hero sustains 4 wounds. So that could happen. That whole reset could happen 4 times. We were never really close,
No.
but we also had that healing water card from the get go.
Yeah.
So maybe that makes it more challenging.
Possibly, because then you'd actually have to make a roll.
You would have to make, and we did remove quite a few wounds just willy nilly. Um, yeah, I don't know. I feel like the rules could be a little more clear, or it could just be us trying to read into it too much.
Yeah, it could just be the fact that we're actual real gamers and we're into too much consideration, and that this game is not intended for people like you and me.
So I mean, the game is only 20. It's $22
Yes.
plus, but you pay like I think it's $10 shipping. So it's a $30 game. I don't see myself being like, hey, let's go play for hours, but it's fine. I don't think it's bad. It's beautiful.
It at least gives us a little, honestly, a little insight into what some of the cars are probably going to look like when the
Yeah.
re-release comes out. And honestly, the artwork is fantastic.
Yeah, the game. I mean, it looks nice. I mean, like I said, the only disappointment was really
Yeah,
the
the dice is
dice.
a big disappointment.
The cards look cool. I mean, I think it is. It seems like it's like one of those fun, fast games meant to be played. Like this, I could see this being like a little travel game that you bring, and you could play quickly in a hotel or something like that. It fits in your suitcase pretty. I mean, you don't even need to carry this big old box. All this could fit. Literally, this whole game could fit in like one of these.
Yeah, I mean, you
one of
didn't
these
even
little
use
deck
this
boxes.
whole box
Yeah.
because the only reason this box is this big is to fit the rulebook.
Right. Are these all the other
Those were
cards
the
we
extra cards
didn't
we
use? So let's look at some of these. So yeah, there's a heroic brew in here. Potion of healing, which is the same as that water.
Yeah.
I think they're the exact same thing.
But again, I do like that they're keep similar artwork. These are both pieces for like Water of Healing is a water spell.
Yeah.
So maybe it, and they do. I mean, they both do heal.
Yeah.
So I mean, replicating.
So it looks like there's only 5 total cards in the game that are these positive cards that stay in play until you
Have to reset.
have to reset the board. So interesting. I don't know. I'll have to play it a few more times and just to see how I feel. And I think maybe send ask a question about some of these on their social and see if they respond about rules questions. So, but it wasn't unfun. It was a cool game. Simple little game. I do like that you do get the male and female hero side. That's cool. You can just flip. The search for treasure action didn't really help us, but I could see like if you're behind,
Yeah.
these could help you. When we were doing it, we were really kind of caught up the whole game.
Yeah.
And we were going into a fresh set of 6, so it was
Right.
really random whether or not we would get
Right, and
one
that's
of the
the thing.
symbols
Like
that was
you're pulling
relevant.
them out as you go, so your odds of getting the one you need might go up depending on the situation.
Yeah. See, I could have saw a scenario where the search for treasure tokens were how you drew these cards.
Yeah.
Like I could have seen like these cards being on here.
Yeah. Because that's what most of them are.
Yeah. Searching for treasure to basically perform.
Get an object that stays.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting.
But that kind of gives you a better chance of being able to get one of these really strong cards.
Yeah.
I don't know. Definitely felt very.
It's simple.
Yeah. I don't know how. It says it's for age 14 plus. I feel like you could play this game with 7-year-old.
Yeah. It's just rolling dice, counting and symbols, and you don't really. It doesn't look like it's possible to roll more than 3 dice.
Correct.
So, Yeah, it's simple. I will say one thing that I think that could be done with this is if especially in this community, the HeroQuest community, there's a lot of like custom content where
Mm-hmm.
people have like created their own stuff. I could see someone taking this and making a more um,
Making more options for characters.
yeah, not just making more options, but maybe like revamping the rules set so that it's a little more in-depth strategy.
Yeah.
But all right, well, for Patronus, I'm Gold Leader. Thanks for joining us, and we're signing out.